Where's Mba?
There.
Where?
Downstairs.
Downstairs?
Yeah.
Where's Eli?
Downstairs.
Downstairs?
Eat.
They're eating?
Yeah.
Where's Dookie?
Downstairs.
Downstairs?
Eat.
Where's Hava?
Right there.
Right there? Where's
Yes.
Alicia?
Right there.
Right there? Where's
Haven.
Where's Haven?
Right there.
Evelyn.
Right there.
Oh. Where's Raya baby?
Right there.
Right there. Where's Uni?
Right there.
Where's Uni?
Right there.
Are you picking your nose?
Now.
It looks like you're picking your nose. Are you?
Baby.
What's on your shirt? Stand up.
Right there.
Stand up. What is on your shirt?
Right there.
Makeup.
My makeup.
Whose makeup is that? Evelyn. So Willow, look at me. Whose makeup is on your shirt?
Me?
That's not your makeup. Whose makeup is that?
Me? Daddy?
That's Haven's makeup.
No.
Were you naughty?
No.
Willow, look at me. Hey, Willow, did you go into Haven's makeup?
No.
Don't lie. Say yes, I did.
No.
Say yes.
Yes.
Did you touch Haven's lip gloss?
No.
Yes.
Eat?
You ate it?
No.
What did you do with Haven's lip gloss?
Eat it?
You eat it? Willow, you do not eat Haven's lip gloss. Did you say sorry to her?
Yeah.
Come here, look at me.
Yeah.
Did you say sorry, Haven?
No.
You should. Say sorry, Haven.
Sorry.
Hey, go. Hey guys, Cassie Deputy here with Deputy Tribe. It has been one of those days today, and I wanted to give you guys some encouragement on if it's one of those days, how the heck do you get through? Now, what I mean is this. I have not slept probably in the last week and a half. Been up with sick kids. I had one kid, Willow, that ended up getting hand, foot, and mouth disease. And so she grew spots on her body and she had a fever, was crying a lot, in pain, literally up through the night crying. Then I had Sojourner, my newborn, who had like a really... she's kind of had a gargle in her chest for a while. And so when we got sick, it developed into like a wheezing and a bit of retracting on her ribs. So naturally, I'm concerned because she's my baby. So I had her oxygen thing and I was reading her oxygen. She was fine, talking myself off the ledge, Called her pediatrician. They couldn't get me in because I never established her as a new patient. So I'm like, crap. They're like, go to the ER. I'm like, negative, not going to the ER. So not sleeping well. And, Sojourner's been waking up through the night wanting to nurse again every 3 hours or so. So all of this, and then homeschooling, of course, during the day. It's end of the year, so there's a lot of, business finances and stuff that I'm trying to work out. We have a speaking engagement Friday. We have, and I have a news or a magazine article that's due this week. I have another event that I was invited to on Sunday. So lots of stuff going on, okay? So today, I didn't sleep at all. Last night I slept an hour or two and then plowed through an entire day of doing stuff because that's what we do as moms. Last night I slept, I think 2 or 3 hours, had to nurse my baby. She didn't want to go back to sleep. So slept maybe 4 or 5 hours, which was the most sleep I've gotten in a while. So all of a sudden I wake up and it's 9:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh no, right? I needed it, obviously. But when you wake up that late as a mom with 8 kids, homeschooling and balancing everything we balance, that's not how you want to start your day. So I get out of bed quick. No one brewed coffee, of course. My husband's gone to work already. My older kids wake up early and do all their stuff. So it's just chaos. I found out one of my kids had been up for 2 hours, did not do all of their morning chores, brush their teeth, brush their hair, make their bed, get dressed, did not finish their jurisdiction, which this child was supposed to put all the clean dishes away and decided to only do half of them, and was not even finished with their math in the first 2 hours of being awake. So I have to deal with this issue. Another one of my kids did all their chores phenomenally, but didn't do their math because they didn't want to sneak in my room and grab the iPad so that they could start their math. So they decided to wait, which was admirable, but I had to take the time to explain, this is your time to get your stuff done while the littles are sleeping. So I need you to just do it, right? Sneak in, grab it, sneak out. It's okay. So I'm dealing with all these issues, right? Breakfast wasn't made, so I had another kid making breakfast while I pulled out the little CKC books to go over their verses with them that they're memorizing. All this time in the back of my head thinking, okay, we're going through Clara Barton. I want to get through two chapters today. I want to have a great discussion, and then they need to do their notebooking, and then they have music lessons, and, Tuesday nights is my work night where I dedicate from 6 till about 10 p.m. to work on my blog, YouTube videos, homeschool review crew stuff, ancient medicine cabinet stuff, all the stuff that I need to balance. Tuesday nights are kind of my night to do it, right? So I have all this stuff going on, okay? And so this is where I'm coming from this morning. And I want to give you some survival tips for days like this, when you're a mom and you're busy and you're exhausted and you're fried and you wake up to a disaster and you didn't even have time. Like if you see this eye, I'm breaking out in hives underneath this eye because the new mascara that I got that I really like, I've been sleeping in it and I think I'm allergic to it because I've been breaking out in hives under this eye almost every day from this new mascara. Thankfully, I have dreadlocks, so I don't have to worry about doing my hair every day, but it's one of those days, guys, okay? Here's my advice. First of all, go sit on your bed. Yes, Mom. I just need a couple minutes to myself. So she's going to sit on her bed and she's going to wait for me to correct her behavior. Okay, tip number 1. Your mood sets the tone of your house. Your number 1 job, and I'm telling myself this, is to be a good example of a good behavior, regardless of the circumstances. Because if you're walking around yelling at kids, frustrated, you're focusing on how you didn't get enough sleep, you didn't wake up early enough, it's super chaotic, you live in a 700 square foot apartment with 10 people, right? So you take a minute and you say, okay, I'm going to address these things with a great attitude, and my number 1 job is to train my children how to act like mature adults. Okay? So you correct the kids, you work on the discipline issues, you talk through the character issues, and you equip the one child. It is your responsibility to take care of these things before I wake up. You need to discipline yourself, to pay attention, and do what needs to be done. And because this issue is part of that kid's character, all throughout the day, you're going to make that exact same correlation when they don't show up to circle time or whatever you call it, when you sit down and you do group school. They didn't show up with their paper and their pencil and everything that they're supposed to show up with. So you take that opportunity to relate it back to your morning. Once again, this is the same issue. You're not taking responsibility. You're not thinking. I need you to mature now, and I need you to start thinking about what do I need to do instead of what do I want to do. And it'll happen again when you tell them, hey, it's time to sit down and you're doing your handwriting. I want you to copy this quote in cursive from the book and then tell me what it means and how it relates to your life. And when that child gets distracted and it takes them 45 minutes to do that quote, you're going to have another discussion. You need to discipline yourself to do what you need to do instead of what you want to do. You'll have time to do what you want to do if you do what you need to do. That is your number 1 job. Period. It's not to check all these things off your list. It's not to run around like a drill sergeant, barking orders, screaming at everybody. And I'm talking to myself here, okay? This is how I talk myself off the ledge. It is your job to train your children to become mature adults. So I have another child that breaks down in tears when things get overwhelming. Nope, not going to do that. You're always going to have stress in life. You're always going to have overwhelming things, and you need to learn how to do what you can do, right? You have this massive task before you, like Clara Barton in the book we're reading. She's looking at this field of soldiers, that are wounded, and she has hardly any help by her side. And how does she tackle this enormous task? You pray, and you do what is in front of you, and you do it to the best of your ability, and you leave whatever is unfinished up to the Lord. So you talk that child off the ledge, and you train them on how to address these situations, right? The complaining. Well, I don't want to eat this. Well, praise God you have food. Because do you remember in our story, or do you remember in that thing that we watched, or do you remember in those people that we saw? They didn't have food. Do you remember when we watched World Watch News the other day, and there's children in Afghanistan that are starving. They're malnourished. Praise God you have this mushroom soup to eat that you don't like. This is our job as parents. This is our one job. Everything else is secondary, is to train your children. When they whine, I want you to go sit on your bed, or I want you to pick up your toys. Wah! No. That's not how you respond. You stop, dry it up. That means dry up your tears. And you say, yes, ma'am. And with a good attitude, you obey immediately, thoroughly, and cheerfully. If one of those three doesn't take place, it's not obedience. Everything else is secondary, guys. So when you wake up and you have one of those mornings, that's what I want you to do. I want you to start with your attitude. Get yourself a cup of coffee, man. Right when I wake up, just give me a coffee, give me a minute. Okay, so now it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and I'm for the first time putting clothes on and like taking day-old makeup off, seeing that my eyes all swollen. But I just needed to get through this morning, and I just needed to do that, and now I have a minute to myself. And I wanted to post this video because I was encouraged at how I accomplished this morning, and wanted to remind all of you homeschooling moms out there that that is our number one duty. It's not about getting the tasks done, you guys. It's about raising our children to be mature adults, to be responsible, to be correct characters, correct attitudes, a good work ethic. Don't let things slide, and be patient, because how you deal with them is how they're going to approach issues in their life. It doesn't matter if you taught them what sea creatures eat at the bottom of the ocean if they have no responsibility to pick up books and diligently work through what needs to be done in a day with good attitudes and with the right heart and the right skill set to diligently do the small responsibilities that they're in charge of. Doesn't matter. So I hope that encourages you guys. If you have a morning like I did, a lot of my mornings are like this as a mom with 8 kids. And my kids range from 11, almost 12, all the way down to my 4-month-old in a very small apartment where if one person wakes up crying in the night, we're all awake and we're all sleep deprived, and we all have a lot that we balance on our plates. But it's the joy of being a mom and training your children to be mature adults, because you did a lot, and I'm proud of you. So I hope that encourages you if you have had a morning like I have. And now I need to go do more child training, because I have one throwing a fit and one sneaking into my room to ask me for stuff that they know they're not supposed to have. So, Jesus is coming. How are you going to be found when he comes, if he comes today?
She asked, "We have heard that you are very good at publicizing important matters, and when you return to the United States, we would like you to take up